Hello, wonderful viewers. You're welcome back to our channel.
My name is Sheyi.
My name is Fumi.
And together
we are called Sheyi Fumi. Guys, we really want to appreciate you for your subscriptions, for the comments, for the likes.
Coming back to the business of today.
Yeah.
Last week we talked about my spouse
and
I. And the episode 1 was basically on understanding me.
Yeah.
And when we talk about understanding understanding yourself, that is the first step in understanding your spouse. You can't understand your spouse, like we said last week,
yes,
until
you understand yourself
first.
Yeah.
And in today's episode, we will be talking on how you can understand your spouse. Don't be deceived, viewers out there. Understanding your spouse is a lifelong process.
Yes.
As you grow, if you understand your spouse even at your youthful stage, by the time you get older, we change in forms, we change in character, the body system change. So you need to re-understand. So it's just a process that starts from the first day of the marriage till
the end, till death do you pass.
So you just have to keep understanding one another. People tend to think that you can change your spouse. That okay, let's say during courtship, for an example, there are some few things that you see that you don't really like. You said, okay, when we get married, I am going to change him or her. See, it takes the grace of God for that person to be improved. You only can have the upgrade version of that person. You can improve that person. But to believe that you can totally change your spouse, it's impossible. Because it takes a lot to grow up to the stage where you met one another. You grew up in different environments, under different homes,
different background,
sometimes different culture. Like my culture and yours is
totally different.
And we have to learn one another in marriage. So you cannot change your spouse. However, you can work on him or her so that you can actually get a better version, an upgraded version of that person. Take for an example, some people have some dressing code they are used to. Your spouse, for an example, has some dressing code that she's used to.
Yes.
And you just think waking up one day, you can just decide, okay, this is the way from now on that I want you to start dressing up. In some cases, he might do it or she might do it for few times,
to respect
to
you, obey you.
But your spouse will call you one day and tell you, listen, honey, I think I'm trying to adjust to the way you want. But why don't you look at it in my own way, with my own view too? So your spouse definitely want to be himself or herself at times. So like some people, even during dating, you will have realized that this is not much of a giver. Doesn't give much.
Yes.
You have to ask yourself this: am I ready to spend the rest of my life with him that doesn't give much or doesn't help out much in the kitchen, for an example? Some men, for an example, let me use men in this case, can't really help out much in the kitchen. Not because they don't want to, but
they are not used to it.
They are not used to it. They are not trained that way.
Yes.
For an example, I came from the family of boys. So we get used to cooking.
Yes.
We get used to doing house job. We get used to ironing. And one of those things you notice about me is, okay, I'm comfortable to be in the kitchen and said, okay, leave the kitchen for me today. I want to cook. But it's not everyone, that can do that. So why cutting? If you understand that this is what my spouse like, you can decide within yourself. Am I really comfortable with that? Don't just believe that somebody who doesn't know how to cook, for an example, will suddenly get married, like a man who is not used to kitchen will suddenly get married and then be dishing out wonderful dishes for you, or will be giving you breakfast. But even if he has to learn, it will take time.
And you have to understand him.
Another aspect that you need to that I'm looking at in understanding your spouse is take for an example, while you are dating, you find out that this guy has an anger issue, for an example. Some people say, when I get into the marriage, he's going to change. Listen.
And we look for ways to calm him.
He is not going to change. He can only improve.
Yes.
If you are sure that you are okay with that aspect of him, go ahead. If not, check it. Watch it. And Amit, for an example, somebody who doesn't socialize much, will definitely not just change overnight.
Yes.
While you guys were dating, if it's the type that doesn't love going out, and you are the outgoing type, peradventure, maybe you are sanguine, and it's like, okay, maybe melancholy or phlegmatic in nature, then you have to understand, can I really cope with that aspect of him or her? If you can't cope with that aspect of him or her, then you have to look inward and ask yourself if you really want to go into it. So first, understand this thing. You can't change your spouse. However, you can improve him.
Or her.
You can improve him or her. Maybe because I'm he. I love talking about him.
That's why I'm helping you out.
You talk much about that. So you can improve him or her.
Yes.
And that will also take time and a lot of patience. It takes time and a lot of patience. And I want to say this. Even in understanding your spouse, for example, you were talking the other time when we were talking about some common ground and some differences, and I was like, wow, I didn't really look at it in that aspect.
Because in understanding your spouse, you have to first understand the differences and the common grounds that you have together. For the differences, it's going to be what you're going to be patient with, you're going to work on for a long time. It's going to take a lot of time. I heard of couples that after several years in marriage, they still end up in divorce. As it's not, I think to me, they didn't really understand each other. Understanding each other is not going to be a day job, it's not going to be a year job, it's not going to be 10 years job, it's going to be continuous something. As a wife or as a husband, you have to be patient in understanding your spouse. For example, at the early stage of our own marriage, like I love using our own experience so that you know that it's common everywhere. It's common everywhere. Every home has one thing or the other. There's no perfect home. Like in the early stage of our marriage, I really don't. I think I won't say that I didn't understand him. My husband is an extrovert. If you know him, you will know that he's an extrovert. Something like extrovert. I'm going to say, funny, you're an extrovert.
All right. Okay, I'm sanguine. I know.
My husband is an extrovert, and he can meet someone today and become the person's friend. That's why you see him, he has a lot of friends. But for someone like me, okay, turn up for you, for having friends, it's part of life and I enjoy it. Like for someone like me, I won't say that I'm not accommodating. Honey, I think I'm accommodating.
Yeah, you are.
I'm accommodating,
but
very well accommodating.
It takes you some time to make friends, unlike me.
Yeah, I'm friendly, but before I relate with you, it would take a lot of time. I could have studied you, to understand you before I get close to you. But at the early stage of our marriage, like I said, my husband loved bringing friends home. And this is somebody that I love my privacy. I don't really like bringing friends home, like, okay, you know, what's going on there and all those stuff.
How many friends do you even have in the first place?
I don't even have friends. That's it.
How many friends do you have in the first place? You are like talking, I don't like bringing friends home.
This is the only friend I have.
You are talking, no, wait.
Yeah.
You are like talking, I don't like bringing friends. How many friends do you even have in the first place?
At least I have you, and I'm sure of that.
Yeah.
You are my best friend.
I know.
So, and I'm okay with that. So, viewers, and I will like, and each time he don't really understand me. He will come like, I have friends in the living room, and I was like, oh my god, I don't want to.
No,
you know?
I didn't start with I have friends in the living
Yes.
room. I will tell you,
okay?
My friend is coming home,
yes.
and he was like,
the way I feel, maybe my reaction, like, do we really need to have friends now? And as time goes on,
and those people really want to come.
Because
and it's like
them.
And it's like no, listen, it's like that's the way we be. If I don't allow them to come that time, it will be like
look like it is why.
So I was like trying to protect your interest.
Okay.
Normally I was going to reduce because it can't go on
because
the way
I'm not even the type that really.
Yeah. So
I am not the type.
That was why I started with telling you. Then when I don't see the reaction, then
like, oh my god, like
I was like, okay, come.
Okay.
When we cross the bridge, when we get, I said we will.
He won't inform me at all. He will just.
I like tell myself
yes.
we will cross the bridge when we get there. When they get to my place, I will come and knock. Only you have somebody
in the living room, and I was like, what kind of thing is this? Sometimes I will get upset, but I will still have to calm down. And I will sometimes I will get upset that I don't want to see them. I will not go to the living room to go and say hi to them. But sometimes I will say, please go and say hi to them. It's not going to be nice. But he don't really understand me. It's not as if I don't want them. I didn't hate them. But I'm not really maybe I would say it's my background, or maybe I don't really know. Even while I was in school, I don't really have friends. Like even my friends were complaining, I do come to your house, you don't used to come to my own house, and all sort of things. But I'm not the type, that's just me. But with time, you know, he later understand me totally. And apart from him understanding me, I too have to understand him. I have to start making friends with his own friend. And if you look at our carcass now, the people I'm relating with are your friends. They are the people that you know,
you
and the people you
brought. For allowing you to have friends.
Thank you. Thank you.
Because you aren't having more friends.
Thank you for allowing me to have friends. I think I'm changing. Like I've really changed anyway. I'm making friends, but I'm still not the type that really make friends. So
see, it's like this.
Okay, honey.
I'm going to refer a lot about in this section particularly. Okay. I will refer very much to Tim Lai through spirit control temperament. Yeah. Because I read and it really helped a lot. Now the issue is I understand I am sanguine. I can start running now just with 1/10 of the information. Yeah. I will definitely get to halfway.
My husband acts on impulse.
I will act on impulse, get to halfway, and sometimes before getting more matured like this, I will have gotten to halfway, then I will realize I didn't know how to end this thing. Then I will need to come back and start thinking. But that's just the nature of sanguine. Okay. Yeah. We make friends easily, we move. I could meet you today. Yes, and it's like we've known for ages.
For 10 years. So, and like they will be discussing things at length, like, oh, and I will like, what is this?
But I understand you too.
Yes.
I wouldn't say you are really melancholy because there are some sanguine aspects of you. Yes. So I would definitely put you in between sanguine and melancholy. Yeah, I'll call you Samuel. So in that aspect, I come to understand that there are sometimes you welcome friend and I'm like,
yeah, is
really
the one?
Is like, the one? Oh. So I withdrew a little bit to study you, and I found out that okay, if I can tell you ahead, I won't need to even ask you. Yeah. No, eventually when we got to Qatar, for an example, when we got to Doha. You did host so many people. I was like, really?
Can this be my wife?
Can this be my wife? And I found out that is one thing for men out there. Calm down.
Learn your wife.
Learn your
and
wife.
For wives too.
And for wives too.
Calm down.
Calm down.
Learn your
husband.
Learn your husband.
When both of you take time.
Yes, to learn each other.
To learn each other. To know each other's like, each other's dislike. You know each other's interest. Marriage will be super.
Marriage inside life will be super beautiful.
So see, I don't believe there is anybody that cannot be upgraded.
Yes.
I wouldn't use the word change. I'm very careful about that because
you can't change anyone.
I have come to realize that even the one you upgrade, there are times
they still display
he or she goes back to
the past attitudes,
and you must learn at that time. And that's one aspect I also want to talk about.
Okay, honey.
In understanding your spouse.
Okay.
There are times you need to withdraw a little bit.
Yes.
I was talking about mood swing last week. You know, I come to understand that there are times that the melancholy aspect of you really come out big more than the sanguine aspect. And by the way, the sun male issue should be like 70-30, more of melancholy than sanguine, by the way. So when this one comes out for an husband, for a wife, you have to withdraw a little bit. We call it giving your spouse space. You must give that space. It is not every time she is ready to laugh or he is ready to laugh. It's not every time he wants to be docile or she wants to be docile.
Honey, sorry. Do you know that I learned to laugh a lot. I started learning that I want to be smiling, I want to be laughing, because the kind of person like me. Sometimes I will just spark off and it will look like, is she fighting me? Is she angry? Even outside, some people like, is she fighting? Is she angry? Is something wrong with her? But it's just me. And recently I just decided, I want to be putting in. That's why you see me smiling.
You want to show more of the 32. See, that's one of the things marriage can do for you.
Yes.
When you
mixed up with someone that is more lively than
the moment you are in Rome, you learn to roam about. So you say when you are in Rome, you do like Romans. But let me put it this way: when you are in Rome, you learn to roam about. So see, with time, a little part of me gets into you, and a little part of you gets into me, and that's why sometimes they say, "Oh, look at this couple; they look alike."
They behave alike.
You can live together for 10, 15, 20, 30 years without the effect of one person rubbing on the other. How well do you understand your spouse's interests? For an example, you are not much of a football lover
at all.
But
oh my God!
I have to change you to become an Arsenal fan. And one funny thing is,
you will always buy
in the last 10 years that I tried to change you, thank God we won some FA Cup, 3 FA Cup along the line. But even at that, it wasn't like you will ask me, I've been beating you today. And when we win, there is always a win. There is a swagger in my world. You will hear me say, we beat them.
Like he's the one that played the football on the face.
We beat them. But anytime I finish watching the match, for an example, and I didn't talk. You say, I want to know you. That you have been beaten. The issue is this. When you understand your spouse hobby or interest, it helps a lot to forge a better relationship.
Yes.
I've also learned now to listen a lot.
Yes.
You don't talk much.
Yes, I don't talk much.
But you want to talk to me much. I realize that. But at the early stage of the marriage, like, I'm not used to you talking. So it's like, and most of the time when you want to talk, and then I realize I will like,
You know what you used to do? It was most of the time, like my husband would be watching football, and once he's sitting watching football, there's nothing you say.
You also like to talk when I'm watching football.
Yes, because that is the only time you sit down. Every other time you're always busy here and there. But when I see you sitting down instead of watching football, am I no more than football to you?
You are.
So I was like, okay, coming, honey. And once you are saying honey, he knows. I was
Yeah.
My good God.
So along the line, I bought so many jerseys, like as in gifts that you don't even ask of me. Those are just my jersey gifts. I want the gift that you don't ask. But along the line, the day I finally say we are Arsenal, I was like,
someone,
really?
no. You know why I said so? I don't. I'm not saying it to you. Someone was saying something like, oh, they beat Arsenal, and he was like trying to, make jest of you guys. And I said, yeah, we are Arsenal.
So the more you understand each other's hobby, and the more, if you really want to understand your spouse, like his hobby, even if you don't love it.
Yes,
you get that?
Yes, yeah, sure.
Let me repeat myself.
That has really helped us.
Like his hobby
or her
even
hobby.
Her hobby, even if you don't understand it.
Even if you don't love it, you don't love that hobby, you don't love what she likes to do, she loves to do.
At least show interest.
Show interest. At least.
I remember when I went to watch football match, you will sit.
I will sit. I will pretend as if I'm watching with him, but I want to start talking little by little.
So you have to like your spouse hobby for you to be able to get a little bit into it. Or her.
Yeah.
Women out there, do you know his favorite meal? Cook it one day. Garnish. When I say garnish, garnish in the sense that serve him in a way that is quite different from the way you are serving him.
Usual way, yeah.
See, every man, even if he's not a glutton, he doesn't like food, once in a while will have a favorite meal.
Okay.
For women out there, I'm coming back to that. You think I'm not coming back to that?
I'm going
For
to
women out there, they love to be listened to.
Yes.
Give like a listening ear once in a while. Like, I will ask men, since when last did you buy a flower?
Munching.
It doesn't cost much
at all.
You could buy a strand. It doesn't have to be a bunch. Like today, I bought a strand from example. You know why I keep buying them? That's part of understanding my spouse.
Because I love flowers.
You love flowers.
I love flowers.
I know you love flowers.
Honestly, I love flowers.
Even when we disagree. Even when let me rephrase it and say,
okay.
Even when you are angry with me.
Oh, you are angry with me.
You know me. I can't be angry for long. Even when we are disagreements.
Yeah.
Does it stop me from buying?
It doesn't. That's when he will go ahead and do more.
One thing you have to do, man or woman in marriage, is when you disagree, find a way to do what she loves or what he loves the more. It's a sure way
to bring him or her back. Yeah.
And when we talk about as in understanding your spouse, my question to you is, what is that thing that you will do that even when he is angry or she is angry, she will calm down?
Yeah.
You must understand it.
You must understand it. Yes.
For me, I will buy you a flower.
Like the flower is everything, right?
No, it's not really everything. So, part of how to understand your spouse is always try as much as possible to go in the line of his preference.
Yeah.
Go in the, it doesn't take anything to go in the line. Even if what he or she is asking for it's not really what you want to do at that moment, go along. There is always a time to say, honey, you know what you did, I don't really buy into it, but because at that moment I don't want to get you a little bit agitated or angry, but I still want you to look at it in my own way. You do that a lot. Men and women out there, couples out there, the singles out there that is listening. The best way to understand one another is to look out for each other's interest. For couples out there who will learn to calm down even in the midst of argument, who will learn to be patient. For couples out there who will learn to surprise one another. Before you realize it, you will understand each other much more than you've ever did since you were married. If you've been married for 5 years, for 10 years, if you can follow a little bit of what we discussed tonight, you will understand that within the next 2-3 months,
and honey,
you will understand one another even much more than.
And honey, I want to say this: for ladies, you still have to calm down. You know, men, they are already wired in the way they are. So most of time, you have to calm down. Like he said, sometimes we were like, okay, trying to tell him this is the right way. Even if he knows it's the right way, he won't agree. He won't agree at that point. We're like, no, because that is him. That is man for you. You don't have to start dragging. You're like, no. You just said, all right, honey. After some time, maybe after 24 hours or 3, whatever time, just give it space. Then you come back, calm down with the Lord. Just say it the way you do. Let the Spirit of the Lord lead you. Then you will know how to put it better. Am I right, honey?
Yeah.
So I just know that the men are just wired in one kind of way that you can't understand. So it's not every time they will accept everything you're going to tell them. So you too have to learn to calm down.
Yeah, it's mostly is due to what you call the male ego.
Yeah.
It's due to what you call the male ego.
Which is okay, which is
but
normal.
Also, as a man, you have to learn to put your ego into subjection.
Yes, my husband,
you have to learn
in that.
to put your ego into subjection.
Yeah.
Really, listen. You have only one marriage, one life. So, if you have one life to live and you are living it together, make it as more interesting as possible.
Yes.
Make it much more interesting than anybody can reason. Because at the end of the day,
it's going to be you.
It's going to be you.
It's your marriage. It's not
It's
anyone's
your marriage.
marriage.
It's not anybody's marriage. Make up your mind that I am going to enjoy my marriage. All right, viewers out there, this is as far as we want to go today. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much
for today. And until next week, when we'll be meeting again on Marriage is Beautiful. Stay blessed.
Stay blessed. Love you.
One
love.
One love.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.